Good morning, 11, Saturday, 8th of November, and as you can see behind me, there's sunshine coming through the window. So it's really, really nice today. I am about to go out. I'm just going to get changed first, obviously, and I need to get a few miles in. I haven't cycled since last Sunday, I think. I've mentioned I don't know if I have actually, if I've mentioned or not about a new book that I'm reading called The Mindful Cyclist. Really good book. I'm thoroughly enjoying this. It says at the bottom, ride further, think deeper, and live fully. It's written by a chap called Simon Tolson. He's a recreational road cyclist, seasoned triathlete, passionate advocate for the mindful power of movement. He balances his love for both solo and group rides with a professional career as an osteopath university lecturer as well. Whether he's climbing quiet hills at sunrise or navigating fast-paced supportives, he approaches cycling not just as a sport, but as a vehicle for reflection, resilience, and personal growth. He's had years of clinical experience and academic teaching, and he brings a unique perspective to the world of endurance sport, one rooted in the body's wisdom, the mind's adaptability, and the emotional insight that unfolds through effort. His interests in human potential, somatic awareness, and performance psychology informs both his work with clients and his time in the saddle. The book is his first book on cycling, and it's an invitation to experience cycling not as an escape, I'm reading from the back of the book, but as awakening, drawing from the quiet beauty of raw roads, the camaraderie of group rides, and the solitude of long solo efforts. Simon writes with authenticity and depth, reminding readers that the most transformative rides don't just change your body, they change your life. I'm halfway through the book already, doing really well. I'm a very slow reader, but this is very, very interesting. It's a very pick-upable book. And it's a book that I think once I've finished reading, I'll be going back to. I should probably put notes in the book as reference points to go back to. It's good, thoroughly enjoyable. And the things that make you really sort of sit back, and there was a bit in here, I'm not sure, there's a section here called Mindfulness in Motion. The bike as a mirror. There's just so many different subjects that go on. This is the one that was interesting. Sorry, I was waffling a bit then. The power of breath. And I read in there about getting in the flow state, getting into the flow with your cycling. It almost becomes a meditation. When you're cycling along a road, which I did experience this the other day, I was going back past the quarry, which if you've seen my videos, I quite often ride along that road, which I will be doing again today. The wind was behind me. It wasn't a strong wind, but it was a wind fast enough or strong enough to keep me going at about 25 plus miles an hour without having much wind against me at all, apart from what I was creating myself. And I got into a rhythm, a really good rhythm. My breathing was good. My heart rate was at a good pace, about 120 something. My legs were spinning nicely. It all just came together. And maybe that's a meditative state, a flow state where you're just as one with what you're doing. I'm not just talking about cycling. I'm sure you get that with when you're swimming, whether you're running, walking, when you're out and about and you're just doing your thing. And it's just you and what you're doing with the exercise. It didn't even seem like an exercise. It was just a lovely, lovely feel, lovely experience. So that's something that this book talks about. And I didn't really think about that until I'd read it, and I thought, yeah, that relates to how I felt. You can't make it happen. It also talks in there about when you go out sometimes and your ride just feels right. Everything becomes easy. Not necessarily the hills become easier to go up, but your body just feels good. Your mindset is there, everything. And it's so important. I was in the gym this week with a friend. We were pushing some weights on the bench press, and he was trying to do a very heavy weight. He was trying to push 95 kilos. And he didn't think he'd be able to do it. I think he did 90, and he was going to try and lift the 95, which he hasn't done for some time. And he laid back on the bench, and he was going to go straight into it. And I said, hang on a minute, just are you ready for this? He said, yeah. I said, are you ready physically? He said, yeah. I said, are your muscles all engaged, ready for this? He said, yeah. I said, what about your mind? Make sure your mind is telling you, and just in your head go through the lift, that you can actually do the lift in one go. And sure enough, he did. And I do think it helps. I was reading another book somewhere or something, an article in something about people, a lot of these top sports and athletes, they go through what they've got to do in their head before the next day, before they actually do the ride or the lift or the run or the jump or whatever they're doing, and they go through it over and over in their head. And I think it was Muhammad Ali who said about when he had a big fight with somebody, he would go through the whole thing in his head, how he was going to beat his opponent. And I think the mindset is so important. And that's how that lift happened yesterday with my mate. And I get the same myself sometimes. I think about it and think, right, I'm going to do this. And I go through the whole thing before I've done it. And today's ride, I'm thinking about where I'm going to go and the hills I'm going to go up and the long, flat ride past the quarry. I want that to be, and it's not windy today, so the wind shouldn't be against me, just to enjoy it and go with the flow. I'm going to go from here down to the coffee shop, have a coffee. I'm going to go up through the village, a couple of climbs before I get to the top, go down through into the valley, down to Cote Hill, which should be nice and pretty today. With the tide will be out, but it should still be nice with the sun out. It's beginning to cloud over a bit now, actually. And then go right the way around the top, come back down, go into Metherell, go into my favourite little pub, have a couple of pints in there, and then just bimble back, and then past the quarry, the top road, and hopefully get a nice speed along there, get that feeling back. I'll report back to you to let you know how that went when I do get back. That's it for now. I'm going to stop waffling. It's 11:10. The day is slowly disappearing. I've got friends coming over tonight to go down into the village. We've got a big firework display tonight. I'm hoping to be able to record it on this camera. I'm going to give it a go. I've been looking up what settings to use to make sure I can capture the firework display. It's a big one, a really big one. It's a £9,000 firework display that's going to be set off. Hopefully I've caught it for you on here. So the whole day will be this start here, me telling you about what I'm going to be doing, the video of the ride, and then the video of the firework display this evening. So it should be quite an exciting day. So let's see what Saturday brings. If it does bring what I want it to bring, it should be fun. So let's get on with the ride, get on the saddle. It's a nice, lovely warm day. Sun on my back at the moment, so good start to the ride. I've just been in Leash, I've had a coffee, I've had a piece of, what did I have? A sausage roll and then a piece of cake as well. So I'm well fueled for my ride. Do you know what, I'm stopping here because that sun is so warm. Well, I left my sunglasses at home. That's tough. This is so nice. What temperature am I showing on my computer? 17 degrees. Yep, I'll agree with that. It certainly feels like it in the sun. Right, let's crack on up the hill, get to the top, and then over the railway line, up the steep hill. And I'll probably go along the top road past the quarry. This time it'll be on my left, and then I can drop back down from the other side into Metherell. Well, so far I haven't done many miles. I've stopped to talk to 4 people. So I'll just be doing a bit of socialising. We'll be coming up to the Queen's Head, my local, but on this occasion I won't be stopping. I'm going straight past and then up the road to the top and pick up the road that goes past the quarry. I shall keep my cam running in case some twat decides to cut me up. That's a result, nice and quiet. Another example of my rides. That's the 5th person I've stopped and chatted to. Do enjoy it though, it's lovely. Always find time. That's the one thing with cycling you can do. It's not like being in a car. If you see somebody, you want to stop and chat to them, somebody you haven't seen for a while, or just a friend. And the problem is, if you're in your car and you're in the way, you have to move out of the way for another vehicle to come through. Whereas with a bike, you can just stop and chat. Natter. Nothing to be said for it.
See that boat there? Where do you want to go? I've got 2 points and 2 boats. See? Active after you after. What's that? Yeah, I got a large enough now. That's why I
like that. How big the box is today. Falcon Highway going up in one box. Oh, they were cool.
I like that.
Yeah. Imagine I pulled out and looked without the smoke. Whoa!
The heat off of that.